Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper channel. And guys, welcome to another edition of the Hard Truth Show. Now, guys, today we're going deep down the rabbit hole, and we're going to be talking about giants in the last days, cover-ups, and the silencing of those who see it. I want you to understand something, that we are definitely living in the last days. And for those that are out of the know, from the River Euphrates drying up recently, starting to really dry up, to giants being seen and reported, multiple countries, multiple people's bodies be stacking up because people's telling the truth. I don't know, if people's been missing the headlines, but we are definitely living in the days of Noah, as of the days of Noah. And, scripture talks about, as of the days of Noah, so shall come Son of Man be. Well, we've got DNA modification going on right now. We literally seen in the news recently, for those that have eyes to see and ears to hear, where that girl had leukemia. They literally changed the fundamental building blocks of DNA to eliminate leukemia out of her body. And there it is, it's gone. All right. Now, I'm going to screen share here in a minute where they're hybridizing animals. That was going on. If you look in the book of Jubilees, you understand between Genesis, Yasher, Jubilees, Enoch. You can pretty much draw a line between all this stuff. And I've already covered this in previous streams and previous videos if you go through my catalog of videos. And then to stack on top of that, you got the River Euphrates drying up. And then on top of that, you've got giants being seen, reported, and people disappearing. So we've got pretty much almost everything in line as of was the days of Noah. For so shall the coming of the Son of Man be, right? All right. So just a quick review real quick, guys. If you didn't catch last week's live stream, identifying the enemies of the servants of the Most High in the last days, I really enjoyed that stream personally. I think it was a great refresher for myself because we are being targeted. And this one, which I'm absolutely still shocked that it has not received a community guideline strike yet, is the curious case of the passing away of the masses around the world. And for all y'all that know in the know exactly what I talked about in that stream. And guys, make sure to check me out over on Odyssey. Link is in the video description below. And also, where are we here? I want to make sure and cue this up. Guys, make sure to check out the World's Last Chance calendar app, because I'm either on here on Sabbath or the night before. And here lately, I've been slipping and been doing this on Sabbath in the morning time. But I'm trying to get back to doing this as I wanted to, doing it the night before Sabbath. And if you want to know about the Father's Lunisolar Scriptural Calendar and when that is, you can download this free on the App Store on your Android or Apple platform device. All right. And last thing, and we're going to get this party started, is guys, make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notifications if YouTube actually decides to give you notifications. I have people I personally know, they tell me they don't get their notifications for my content anymore. So you might want to make a stop over at the channel every now and then, see what you missed. And guys, if you want to financially donate and help support the content of this channel, by all means, links in the video description below. You can also do so via YouTube. And shout out to Fearmonger and Mason Shane for their recent support on the channel last week too. Much love to y'all. I appreciate that, guys. And I'm going to be doing a slide to put up weekly on that too. I know some of you people said you don't want that. Any recognition for that, but I appreciate those that do help support the channel. All right, read a few comments here and we'll get started. I saw the one story, people, please wake up, your divine DNA. Giants, I haven't heard of those sightings. We're about to talk about some of that right now. Before you start, can I ask you where I can buy a solar wall heater like you put on the tiny house? Email me at 7trumpetsprepper@gmail.com. And guys, I'll get you that, but I'm not going to talk about buying and selling right now on Sabbath. All right, so where to begin? I guess we're going to I'm going to screen share first. And I think that is the best thing to line this out. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to screen share and go to the first article. And I'm going to bounce back and forth today because I don't have a slide presentation. All right. Before I get into Andrew Dawson and what happened to him, I want to point out something that I just said at the very beginning, just to clarify where we're at in the streamline of humanity. Is right here. This is an outdoor life. Okay. And alligator catfish hybrids. Now, please note this is legit. Okay. Alligator catfish hybrids. Oh my goodness, here's some ad. Sorry guys, I should have cleared all the ads before I got on here. are being spawned in an Alabama lab using gene editing technology and just a pinch of alligator DNA. This is literally like I'm reading an article about Jurassic Park. Scientists at Auburn have created a sterile hybrid species of catfish they say is more resistant to infection. That is terrifying. Okay. But this is going on. Okay. This is going on. And we need to be mindful of this, that this is exactly what was forewarned would happen in the last days. All right. Now, to set a premise for what I'm about to discuss and a baseline is, sorry guys, let me pop screen share back off for a second here. All right. So to set a baseline for what I'm about to cover and summarize real quickly before we go into this in depth, is a gentleman by the name of Andrew Dawson was going about his day-to-day life when he seen a giant standing on a mountain peak. Now, I've got proof that it also ain't a cross. Apparently, people, somebody commented on a Facebook thing that it was a cross on a hill, but yet whenever he went back shortly thereafter, now I haven't watched every single one of his TikToks from the time I started following his work on his TikTok till now. And furthermore, I'm just not a huge TikTok platform person. It's been really hard for me even working with that platform, doing the adventures and bricks things for the family Lego block building channel thing I'm doing now on a different channel. That's been really hard for me to migrate to TikTok. Abby's had to teach me on that. But anyway, what I have watched and viewed on him on TikTok, he went back out to this, looks like a job site, and sat there and showed that same mountaintop, which I have pictures and all this I'll show in just a minute, is that diffuses the fact that that was a cross or any physical structure up there. Okay. From what I can see. Now, I want everyone to take this whole thing with a grain of salt, but what I will say is this is starting to become prevalent around the world, people reporting stuff like this. Now, what really, really caught my interest on this is when the man died. When he just dropped off, went silent, and died, it really ran red flags up the pole for me. And that's when I'm like, okay, I'm going to count this one personally for Lucas legitimate at this point because it cost him his life. Also, if you go back to his TikTok, and that's why also this first article I'm fire away with, I'm putting a link in the video description when the stream's over so that you guys can actually go to that. You can also find his TikTok via. Comments are turned off on his channel now on TikTok, which now that could have been his family done that or whatever, but they also could have been threatened to turn off them so that people couldn't communicate on there on that anymore. I'm surprised this whole TikTok hasn't been taken down. So for those that have not seen what I'm talking about, you need to investigate all this right now while things are still available. But long and short of it, then he has run-ins with who I would consider the CIA, and apparently other people have purported that too. I've really been on a kick lately bashing on the CIA, if you haven't noticed, but like this one's just more fuel for the fire, is that's what people think is who killed him. And then as he continues to investigate this, they end up showing up and stalking him at his home. And he's a normal family guy, just normal, looks like normal TikTok that, you know, a person would have. And next thing you know, then the dude's dead. And it makes you stop and poise the question, why in the world would all of a sudden this guy, you know, go to making videos, tell people this is true, then go and turn around and say it ain't true while looking off camera like he's being coached, to then turning around and saying, yeah, it was all true. There's just a lot of questions left unhinged on this, right? So without further ado, let's jump back into it. Now, this is the link that will be in the video description below, and warning ahead of time, there is an F-bomb in this article, but I'm going to try to scroll quickly past it. But I'm just going to read through this with you, all right? This is on the dailydot.com. And you can see up the top left corner right there, it says it's a giant. Now, that's one of the videos I watched in the past over, okay? And then you can see all sorts of stuff going on, continuous things going on throughout the videos and stuff. But here you see this giant. The guy in the middle is Andrew Dawson, all right? And then I'm going to show you another picture of that where that so-called cross, which is actually a giant, I believe, is disappeared from there, and there's nothing on top of that mountaintop. But, of course, they're talking about it's a rumor, blah, 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 blah. But it says here, a rumor spreading rapidly online claims that the Central Intelligence Agency murdered a man over a video that supposedly showed a giant. And I believe that too. I believe that before I even read articles that agreed with my thought. Last spring, a man posted a TikTok of a giant atop a mountain in Canada. The footage is grainy and the figure is impossible to discern at the distance from which it was captured. Well, yeah, I mean, what, you know, the guy was just supposed to be right there next to it when he filmed it. I mean, this stuff's so irritating when I read articles and things, how that people dismiss this stuff. Says, yet the TikTok quickly went viral, racking up 2 million views within days. As of writing this, it's been viewed. All right. Now, moving forward here, this should be the TikTok loading, which I'll go on past that. That's actually on his website, right? Or that's Andrew Dawson's TikTok right there. It should be in that video above it. It says it's a person. The TikToker, Andrew Dawson, said in the video caption, "It's a giant." And the supposed giant is a dark silhouette at the top of a snow-covered mountain in the distance. The other person in the vehicle wasn't buying it. No, it's not, they said. Typical. Dawson followed the video up with posts attempting to investigate the supposed creature. In subsequent posts, he claimed he'd been stopped by a CIA agent and that someone was following him. Let me see if that finally loaded up. No, it did not. I don't know what my internet, the issue is today. He also said the giant had disappeared and wondered if it was a UFO. Did the thing on the mountain go home? Weeks later, Dawson published a TikTok admitting that it was all fake. Now, if you notice, though, for those that already have seen it, he's looking off screen as if he's being coached, just to add that, all right, because these are the things that are left out of articles like this. Sorry to disappoint you guys, but all of the videos that I posted were scripted. They're fake, just strictly for entertainment, he said. Days later, he posted another TikTok suggesting the previous videos that the giant CIA were real. Now, see, that right there is where you have where controversy abound, truth is always present. All right. So days later, he posted another TikTok insisting the previous videos about the giant and the CIA were real. The on-screen caption read, "I'm scared." In it, Dawson said, "You might not see me post ever again. My videos, they weren't fake." And shortly thereafter, he was gone. All right. And he posted one more video, then went silent. On July 1st, Dawson passed away. He was just 34 years old. Now, I want to pause for a second. Let me go back over to the comments, make sure I haven't missed anything. All right, we're good. We're good. And also make sure the stream is going okay. Yeah, we're still good. All right, so anyway, oh, yeah, they definitely killed him, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to pay attention to the comments, too. Says here, questions about the cause of his death and claims that the CIA was involved floated around the internet for months. All right, well, when you actually go right over here, and I can put this in the description too if people want a link to it. It's in the Campbell River Mirror. This is what it says. This is all that his obituary reads: in loving memory. All right. Loving husband, father, uncle, brother, and son. That's all it says. Like, it doesn't say, you know, fought a battle with cancer and finally went home to be with the master, you know, some long drawn out thing about somebody's life. And I'm not beating up on them. I'm just pointing out some inconsistencies that's troubling to me. The comments are closed on this, so you can't even comment. And I think in the beginning it was where you could comment. I can't remember because the last time I looked at it, it was just brief and quick to validate that it was there. But anyway, this is all that it's got. Okay, this is all there is. All right, and right here, when we go back over and start reading again, it says in October, a podcast dedicated to legends like the Loch Ness Monster and Sasquatch wrote a blog about Dawson's death. Also, I think the Y-Files is covered it. I think, oh man, who was it? The brother that sent that to me the other day. I got to go check that out on the Y-Files because he always goes in. Brother Dorian, I think, sent that to me. I need to go check in the Y-Files because now I like watching the Y-Files. That is an interesting podcast, YouTube show, just FYI. But anyway, October, the one about the, oh my goodness, the pharaohs and the Egyptians and stuff in the Grand Canyon, that's crazy stuff too. That's a whole conversation for another day. But in October, a podcast dedicated to legends like Loch Ness Monster and Sasquatch wrote a blog about Dawson's death. They wrote that a week before he passed away, Dawson confirmed via Instagram direct message that his videos about the giant and the CIA were all fake. All right. Look at that. A week before he passed away. Well, of course, they're watching his stuff at this point, I'm sure. Just as he had done on TikTok, Dawson reportedly later muddied the waters in messages where he reportedly wrote, "I can't say anything about it. It didn't happen." There you go. More recently, conspiracy theories about Dawson's video of the giant and the CIA being involved in his death have gained significant traction. The portion of the web that delves into such matters is churning out massive amounts of content about it. which to me is the craziest thing, because like the best thing they could have done is left the man alone and just cleaned up their mess, because now they have created a crap storm of people investigating this now. So on TikTok, the hashtag of Dawson's name, Andrew Dawson, has 90 million views as of this writing. The hashtag on his handle, Andy Capped, has 720,000 views as of this writing. Many of the TikToks that include the hashtags reiterate the conspiracy theory that Dawson was killed for filming footage of a giant. You know what I need to do is actually on my brick modeling channel, I need to build a little mountaintop and put a giant on it, and like do a throwback to this subtly, which is one of my intents for the other YouTube channels, is to actually draw traction over to this channel eventuality. That wouldn't be a bad build to do. But anyway, many of the TikToks that include the hashtags reiterate the conspiracy theory that Dawson was killed for filming footage of a giant. Absolutely. He was killed for that. And according to Know Your Meme, internet sleuths have gone as far as to visit the mountain looking for evidence to back up or debunk Dawson's claim. I mean, guys, people are not going to put this to bed at this point. They're going to keep, oh, sorry, got to scroll past that. There was that F-bomb. I apologize for anybody seeing that. Try to always keep this channel clean. Dawson's death doesn't appear to have anything to do with giants, UFOs, and the CIA. Yeah, doesn't appear. A lot of things don't. You know, Building 7, what was it? Wasn't it Building 7 at the Trade Center they said had failed, and it hadn't even failed yet, and the news reporter was reporting it? I mean, guys, the problem we have with society right now is so many people are dumbed down that what is it? Perception is reality, and those in the elite know this. The Illuminati, Freemason, Jesuit, satanic, pedophilia, blood drinking, crazy people, they know how to run the script. So anyway, Dawson's death doesn't appear to have anything to do with giants, UFOs, or CIA, as they say here on this article. But I tell you, it has absolutely a lot to do with it. Days after he posted the initial video, Dawson wrote about it on his personal Facebook page. He was clearly thrilled to go viral. One of his friends said that it was actually just a video of a cross. Just goes to show you what blows up, they wrote, prompting multiple laughing reactions. Dawson replied, "It's a giant," to which his friend wrote, "It's a giant cross." Well, if it was, somebody took it down pretty quickly. But anyway, you can, and on his accounts where he posted pranks, comedy, and music, the guy was just a casual guy, and then you see his whole content take a shift, guys. That to me is another red flag that something was legit about it. Anyway, says, while the CIA conducts operations on foreign soil, is rather implausible. It would clumsily go after a Canadian for posting grainy footage of a giant. Really? Because he didn't just post the footage of the giant. He actually went up to the place, investigated, got turned away by a person in a black car, got stalked at his home. I mean, the list goes on. Yeah, I think it's plausible that he could have been murdered. Many people have debunked Dawson's video and the rumors about his death. Oh, man. Let's the thought police. Whew. Anyway, you can check this out. I'll have the link in the video description below. And matter of fact, can I pull up this video? Man, it is still loading. Okay, just forget it. So I'll pull that up for you, or put that in the video description for you guys. Let me take this back off the screen for a second. Hey, shalom. Much love to everybody coming in the building. So what I want to do right now, okay, is right before I go any further and show some of the screen grabs that I have from his videos, actually 2 different videos, of ones that I personally watched too over the course of time. I ain't watched every single one of them. I watched where he initially seen it. I watched where he went back and investigated. I watched where he told people that, you know, it was all fake. I watched quite a bit of them. I've watched the one where he went to investigate on the mountaintop, got turned away. Watched the one where they went to his house and stalked. I've watched a big chunk of them probably. But I'll tell you this. The fact he died right shortly after this all got in full motion, that is the biggest red flag to me. That tells me the legitimacy of this. And I rarely will go down the rabbit hole and be like, this is legit. I'm putting my stamp of approval on this today, that this is legit. And also the reason beyond Andrew, and y'all rest his soul, I hope he finds salvation and is able to be in the kingdom. I don't know his personal faith, but I'll say this is what you need to take note of is what we're seeing transpire in this situation right here. Now, as we draw closer to the return of Messiah, and the new kingdom, we need to be mindful of the following, that more and more of these situations will take place. It's almost undoubtable at this point. This has been a great litmus test to me, the legitimacy of the giants in the last days, because they are going to the effort so much that the Smithsonian's destroying bones and hiding evidences of giants to begin with, to the point now where people in black suits, the men in black, are showing up and schwacking people, normal average Joes, just for making a TikTok. We are on the epoch of something big here about to pop off, I believe, and I believe in the very few years ahead. Before 2030, it is mindful to me that between the years 2025 and the years 2030, we're going to see a massive, radical, transformative shift in humanity, from AI integration to Orwell's 1984 kind of lockdown on truth, to everything from probably UFOs to giants, the works. And I don't know how this stuff's finally going to be like let to the public. But right now, the way that information is being shared, it is apparently unacceptable to the elite. So I'm just saying bodies are stacking, right? And at some point, though, it's going to finally be like public knowledge. Like every time something finally comes to light, there is just great, great struggle. Then there is the whole disacknowledging that it's real. And then finally there's this acceptance that it is what it is, right? And so we are currently in that massive shutting down of people being able to say anything. Anybody seen the giant film in Mexico? There are two videos, and one shows a giant leaning over a top of a volcano. Now, are you talking about the one where it walks out and somebody's filming it out of a cave, and then it turns around and walks back into the cave? I've seen that one too. But now the thing that the reason that this one I gave so much credence to actually give a live stream dedicated to it is that the plausible deniability has been taken away at this point, because the guy's dead. Somebody has killed this man for speaking out. And I agree, Pride of Judah, we don't have until 2030. Guys, let me tell you something. 2025 is game over, because AI will be fully autonomous. They've been warning you since 2015. I've covered it in the stream on AI. I've talked about it multiple times after. They're dead set on having this thing on lockdown, all right? And they can't do that yet, though, fully, until they have AI fully autonomous and functional, all right? That is imperative. That is massively imperative, all right? No certificate. Okay. I have not seen that one yet. And hey, guys, make sure when this stream is over, please come back and just drop a comment on this channel, because it helps push this up on the roster. And like right now, please just stop and hit the like button. All right. It don't cost a dime. Please help this channel grow, because I'm going to tell you, folks like myself are being suppressed. Ladies and gentlemen, you do understand like the gravity of that. I'm like probably going to go over 100K subscribers this year at some point. And if you look back in the very beginning, when I started making videos, like there was like tens of thousands of views, hundreds of thousands of views. And nowadays we're drawing in on 100,000 subscribers. Actually, I've got some content in the millions of views. Did you understand? In millions. And now I'll post a video up and I may do well to get a couple thousand views, guys. That is shadow banning at its highest. All right. Yeah, I know. This is actually a comment of the day so far. Really, right here, I agree with you. I'm tired of being a slave to a 1% of humanity. Now we got to play Star Wars against their droids. Shaking my head. Yep, I agree. And I'm gonna put the banner up there as a reminder for everybody to like, share, and subscribe. But yeah, I mean that is the situation we are heading toward. 1/3 of the public agrees it's inside joke. Oh yeah, absolutely. Listen, folks. There is so much conspiracy going on anymore that people have started to accept the fact that there's a lot of things that's not a conspiracy anymore. It's truth being watered down or hidden, right? All right. So what I'm going to do right now is take a drink of water, clear up my sinuses. And I'm going to show you this first picture, which right here, let me Let me post this one up for a second. All right. So now this is a screen grab of his TikTok. And what you see there is when you actually zoom this in, I have vision problems, but when I actually zoom this thing in, you can see very well that it's something with legs and arms, and the size of that creature is probably like 4 times the size of a normal man, I'm going to say, because a normal man would be just like a little speck up on that hilltop, or on that mountaintop, I should say. But like that is a visible protrusion from the top of that mountain. Okay. And when you observe that, it's not a normal, like it's an anomaly. If you look at it, like you have all the ridges in the mountain, you have this nice grade across the top, and then you just have this one thing sticking straight up. Now, when you look at it and you're like, okay, it ain't antenna mast, blah, 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 like it's very weird. It's out of place. It would be noticeable unto myself, right? So when you look at this other video, now I'm going to click back and forth between them so we pay attention to the ridges. You can see the snow there, right? Notice the snow here. I tried to, the other night when I was sitting with Abby and we were talking and comparing notes on this, I tried to get the screen grab where that it would be exact copy of what you see right there. Now you can see that right up from where the giant, there's like a little patch of snow that's open, right? And it's just visible there, the snow. And it's like a grayish spot, right? Well, if you look at right here, you can see that grayish spot patch where that snow is not visible, right? Now, you can see that it's the same location, and whatever was up there is gone. Okay, and I'm going to click back to this one more time because there's always the naysayers. There's just always somebody got to, say, it's fake, blah, blah, blah. Look again, compare the mountain. All right, there it is, and back again, right? Ridges leading up, that half moon circle. There's the half moon circle, the ridges leading up, and then the flat, right? So I'm going to drop it off the screen. Now, your government and everyone in the media would have you do this. Obey. Just listen to them. Believe them, right? But I'm telling you straight up that something is off with this situation. And now this is a precursor for many, many more things to come. This is going to, we are just at the tip of the iceberg with this. Now, things that you need to appreciate with this situation is that for once you have a viable timeline of events that happen. A man paid for it with his life, okay, which is precious. Your life is absolutely a prize to me. And the thing you got to look at with this, okay, is that if it was not of legitimate interest, then why kill the man? See, that's the drop-off point for me, is it's like, if that was such of import to you all, why did you kill him? Please, somebody answer that for me, because that's the part where I've dropped off with this. That's the part that sucked me in the rest of the way and made me really deep dive down the rabbit hole in this. Now, the takeaways that we should take away from this is the following. This is validation, verification, and a solid proof that all the way from the Smithsonian's been covering up to government covering up, there is still giants. He knew too much. That's exactly right. There you go. That's probably the comment of the day right now, right there. He knew too much. He did. And the thing with life is once you see things, you can't unsee them. And he's seen it and can't unsee it. Now, we're headed from here. Is at some point the exposure is going to be, because, okay, gosh, I got so many thoughts going through my mind. Let me pause for a second. Here's the problem. Uncle Sam or whoever did it, the Men in Black, CIA, whoever, messed up. And I mean, they messed up bad with this, because killing this man, like, immortalized this conversation until eternity. This will be conversated. All right. This will forever go down in history as a verification of a giant. Now, what will happen with this now is more and more people will come forward and start telling these things. And then if you start having bodies stacking all over the place, it is going to further validate the point. Like literally, if I go out in my forest near my home and I see a giant tomorrow and I post that up, and then sure as the world, there's a giant up there. And then like 2 weeks, a month later, I'm dead and I don't have any pre-existing health conditions, take no medication, have no mental health problems, and am a genuine normal human being, and I drop off, that's going to run red flags up. And just like the next person and the next person. So like what I said all that to say this is they've really messed up in this situation. The best thing that could have been done is to dismiss him, tell him to shut his mouth, and just leave him to go on about his business, and then clean up the mess. Like if there was a giant, dispose of it. That way when people go look and then he just looks like a fool. There's ways of dealing with this. Like, listen, I tell you what, whoever's watching from the government, I tell you what, if you all want to hire me as a private contractor, I currently don't do off-grid construction anymore. So I'm available for consultation, right? So I'll tell you what, you hire me, I'll come in, I'll start teaching your guys how to actually handle these situations without blood running everywhere, without there being problems. I'll help you clean up your mess for a nominal fee, all right? You hit me up. I'll work you in on for a consultation. And absolutely, that's what I'm saying, guys. That is super suspect that he died. The part that bothers me even worse beyond his death is his obituary. Dude, that is like as blank statement as it comes. That is like, I mean, if my wife passed away right now, I would literally write a dissertation of her life, her eulogy, my love for her. I mean, it would be a deep dive into her life. Like that's one of the last things I could do to honor her, right? Or anyone else, whoever it is that I loved, and something happened to them. Y'all forbid that bad things happen to anybody. But I mean, like that's important. And that was just, man, that was just like, well, there you are. Chunk them in the grave. See ya. I mean, that's kind of what I took from it. And I mean, no disrespect to whoever wrote the obituary. There is just a lot of things that unhinge me when I investigate this. And, you know, a lot of people are stuck in conspiracy world and things like that. My thing is timing. I look at time. Oh, one point I want to make in this. When people are born, when people get married, when people have accept Messiah, when people are passing away, there's like certain times in life you just don't miss. Okay. You're just not present. And those are important points in life that you'll never get back. Right. And so, you know, that further gives credence on the obituary thing. Like I'm saying, like, wow, that's all that was said. End of story. Done. Moving on. I mean, wow. Anyway, and guy had family and kids. I mean, like just intense. But anyway, the thing is timing. This is the last point I'll make today on the live stream as far as this situation goes. And then I want to make a note about something coming up is that timing in life to me, I guess it's because I have a touch of obsessive compulsive disorder in my life. I guess I do have a little bit of mental health going on with that, but it has drove me to be productive. It drives me to be on time. It drives me to be, you know, perfectionist and do things right. And it's like, you know, if you look at the timing we're in right now, the whole alien disclosure thing that the government's starting to let some stuff slip on, you've got the whole giants thing that's trying to be put a lid on currently. You have the river Euphrates drying up. You have DNA modification at the fundamental building block level in animals and in people going on. It's like all this stuff is right on line with as of the days of Noah. Okay. I mean, you know, this is just, it's just mind boggling. And I say that the one thing I want to tell you guys coming up, because I mean, I'm sorry, this is a short stream today because I mean, it is what it is. I'll put the links for you to go do your own investigative work. But at the end of the day, like I just to me, it just confounds the mind when that you see all this evidence laid before you at your feet, where you see something standing there, then something missing, and it's the same location. Then you see somebody go to investigate it, and then they're turned away by black car and people in black suit. And then, wow, my stream just cut for a second. That was great. And so then you see people, them being intimidated by them, and then eventually you see them killed. Like, or end up in an obituary paper and such impeccable timing. Like, that's a poster child. Absolute mark off for legitimacy of something. Just saying. All right. So the one thing I want to also point out is that is really starting to unhinge me and irritate me in the last days. And I don't know why I'm getting so triggered by it, because it's obvious it's going to happen. But there is so many people coming out that they are proudly coming out that they're atheists. They're proudly coming out that they are, what's the word? Pagans. Yeah, that they're just straight up pagans, and just being proud of it in these last days. And the part that's really annoying me is these people, so-called preppers and survivalists. I'm going to make a video about this. I don't want this to be in this video, but I'm just telling you, it's like, I'm going to make a video about that coming up this week, because it's been on my mind and spirit, and it's really irritating me. Like, it's the stupidest thing I ever seen. It's like, if you're going to be a prepper, then prepare for the last days. Otherwise, just get the flip out of the way, because it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid to prepare for anything. If you're an atheist or pagan and you don't even care about, the Most High coming back, like, why flipping even bother? Like, why bother? Just boggles my mind. And I'm going to touch on it later this week, but I'm not going to fool with that any further in this stream. But guys, if you don't start marking these things down, if you don't start being mindful of the fact that the things that was prophesied to take place in the last days are literally happening before your very eyes, I don't know if I can help you any further, because we are literally witnessing these things right now before our very eyes in the last days, going on. And, I guess to me, it never hit for me as hard as it is nowadays, that it's like, I'm literally living in a time where I'm witnessing with my own eyes DNA modification. I'm witnessing with my own eyes giants. I'm witnessing with my own eyes cover-ups and lies of epic proportion, and people being murdered for telling what's up. Like, I never thought, hey, good morning, brother. I've never thought that I would witness and see all these things take place like they are, and yet here they are taking place right before our very eyes. Just amazing. And if you don't take the opportunity while it's still visible to see these things, if you don't go and look at these things right now before they're taken away, I would not be surprised. I'm going to go ahead and have a prophetic moment here. I would say that in a month's time, you won't see Andy. I think it's Andy Cap. It's on TikTok. I think was his TikTok handle. I don't think you'll see that on there anymore. I don't think you'll see his social media anymore. If they have any sense about them at this point on damage control. Matter of fact, this is my free consultation to the men in black out there, CIA and all that crew. Free consultation for the moment. This part's free. If I was you, I'd go pull that down today, very quietly and very silently, and would remove that as soon as possible, because people gonna get the memo that this one's legit. All right. And the best thing you can do is just get that out of people's eyes and keep feeding them bread and circus, because people's like squirrels. You give them a little while, they're going to dip out on this. Because now the problem you got going right now is there's enough people waking up to the truth that they're going to take this one and they're going to run with it. And then they're going to pick up the scripture and read the book of Enoch, and they're going to read the book of Genesis, and they're going to figure out that there was giants in Noah's days, and then it's prophesied there'd be giants in the last days, and then they're going to start actually reading the scripture and start believing it, start changing their life and be saved. So I'm just warning you, Uncle Sam and Satan Incorporated, y'all need to be doing some damage control today, because y'all botched this one up bad. All right. So, guys, make sure to check them links out in the video description below. I'll post the obituary link. I'm posting that website link that I read the article off of, because it has his TikTok direct linked in it too. So you can get that. And if you just want that alligator catfish hybrid thing, just hit me a link. I can drop that in the video link below. Yeah, man, here we go. This is a good one too right here, brother. The Men in Black memory flash pen didn't work on him, apparently. Yeah, apparently whenever he was looking off side camera and he blinked, I must have flashed it at the right time whenever, or the wrong time whenever he blinked. But this is just nuts, guys. I'm gonna tell you what. When I guess the one last note I would leave with is, TikTok is a crazy place. I can't stand TikTok, and I'll tell you why. My wife told me that, and I guess I'm partly at fault. My wife told me that if you actually search for things that you like cars or, construction or beach or whatever, like it'll start putting it on your For You page. But literally, I can turn my TikTok on, and almost every single scroll, it's some half naked woman or some woman putting herself out there whoring. It's just insane, man. I can't stand TikTok. But I will tell you this: when it comes to TikTok, and people be dropping truth bombs and conspiracies and things to make you think, I have seen a lot of fruit come from TikTok as far as driving people toward thinking deeper outside the box than normal. And I don't know if it's the algorithm hasn't been trimmed down on it yet, like YouTube, because I'm gonna tell you, YouTube's algorithm has been massively trimmed. I mean, shout out to whoever the shady cat was that's running YouTube's algorithm, because I'm gonna tell you what, if they actually used it for good, they'd be bombing out the truth right now. But they have really honed in on who's getting the truth in there, and they have just been really dialing that mess down, because I can't tell you how many people I know that are producers that their content has been massively shadow banned. I know I brought it up recently, but that one guy, I guess he was just like a regular, just Christian content producer, not even like really deep in Torah, deep in end day stuff like that. And he made one video that was kind of against liberalism or against the woke movement. And buddy, they shadow banned him too. I was like, yep. I was like, it doesn't matter who you are. If you talk about the wrong things, your mouth will be shut. And I look back across the way on all the content I produced over the years. And when I was just showing how to build things like prepper builds and, here's how to put food on the shelf and here's how to homestead and stuff like that. Maybe I need to just get back to that. But things that I did of that, content was booming. When I go to talking about the truth and stuff, really deep conversations, like back when I first started talking about flat earth, I think that's where the taper started. I noticed differences down the road. And so guys, like, it's getting to the point now where people's paying for talking about the truth with their life. So just keep that in mind, that my man, y'all rest his soul, because he paid for his testimony with his life, and you best bank on it that coming in the near future, many more of us will probably have to pay for the testimony that we give with our life. Bank on it. All right. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and dip out of here and spend some time with my fam today before I have to go back to work tomorrow. But I hope this has been a help to you, and make sure to check out the content links below. I will put them in the thing here just as soon as it gets finalized on YouTube here in about 10-15 minutes. Let me check out the comment section here real quick before I dip out of here. I've seen there was some new comments come in. Hey, much love to y'all. Appreciate everybody everybody that supports this channel, watches the content, shares it. I appreciate you and love y'all. And guys, as always, till we see you again here at Seven Trumpets Prepper Channel and on the Hard Truth Show, I hope the Most High Yah Baruch you and keep you, make his face shine upon you, show you favor, and give you shalom, my friends, in Yahushua name.